Good afternoon, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Testing out my laptop right now. I'm going to look on YouTube, see if I can hear what I'm saying. And I was having technical difficulties last night. Hello. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Test, test. It seems like I have like a 2 second delay. How's everybody doing? Test, test. So yeah, it seems like I got a 2 second delay, and the color on here is kind of kind of dull. I'm seeing the names. You can hear me loud and clear this time, but I still have a delay. I have like a 2 second delay when I speak. Yeah, something's going on with this. I'm just doing a test, just trying to figure out what's going on with this laptop. Or not, I'm uh gonna have to go and see if I can replace it with a different one because the picture quality is not that good, and it's kind of like off by 2 seconds. So I'm trying to see what I can do to fix this. I know my room is dark right now because I got the light off. But like you see, it's got no color. It's not showing a color. So I'm thinking it might be. Yes, it does. Way better. So this is just a test, just to see, because it got no color. Look at that. Can't see the color of my beads or nothing. It's like the color in the picture in the laptop is not that good. Uh, so what I'm thinking is about maybe getting me a different laptop, taking this one back in and getting my money back, but I pay for it because I'm not seeing no kind of color like my phone. It works pretty good. So I'm thinking about just doing my lives on my phone for right now. But this laptop color, it has no color. It's like I'm black and white on here. Yes. So I was just doing a quick live just to see uh, if I can figure this out uh, with the color and all that. But I don't know. Yes, I can still do a live, right? Since I'm already here with no color. It's kind of like, yes, I just placed another picture where it caused real bad. I got two pictures that you can see, like the woods in the bottom, and then more woods on top, and it looks like two different areas of wood coming from two different directions, from two different timelines. I just placed it on my group called Positive Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on Facebook, and I got another one that looks even crazier. And it's like you see in my phone. My phone works good, right? The color in it. Uh, then I cut those those images off my phone where it was causing interruption in my phone. But they caused like a magnetic disturbance. When I say sometimes it feels like when you get zapped, like everything's going upside down. Well, if you look at the photos of that place, it's kind of like it's upside down where you can see the woods in the bottom, and you can see the woods up on top in the sky. It's just it's unexplainable. I mean, for the camera to capture woods like down low and down high like that, it's got to be some kind of magnetic disturbance in the field. Oh yeah, there was a lot of them, brother Chewy. I mean, I knew I got hit, zapped by a lot of them because when I came back from the woods, man, I was out. I had no energy. Uh, I slept for about 6, 7 hours. After coming out of the wool line, what I did is take me a shower to and pray for if there's any negative attachments on me to get off of me. Then I lay down and went to sleep. Yeah, they manifest to look beastly, like I've been telling y'all. But like I said, I'm thinking I'm gonna just start doing my lives off my phone and try to give me a. It could be the. I mean, I don't think it's a YouTube. I think it's this laptop that I need to replace it with another one. I might do that tomorrow. But if I do go live later on tonight, it's gonna be off my phone. I think I can record better and uh, it sounds better. I think because right here I got my beads on. You can even see the color on them. Look at that. It looks grainy. It looks grainy. Now there's something that I ain't doing right here, but yeah, it's just the camera quality. I need to give me a one that's got better camera quality. I think. Oh yeah, I have a lot of videos like that, man. You see, place something out there, I place it because I'm seeing the things that are in there. So when I used to place my short reels back before, I mean, I was placing them on my Facebook, sharing them to groups, and I was sharing them to here to YouTube, my YouTube channel. I just wasn't going live on my YouTube channel because you didn't have enough people to go live, right? Enough subscribers. So even then, when I was putting up the information, I guess we just go with the black and white for right now. Uh, when I was putting out that information, people were targeting me because I know that they could see what was in there. So for them to stick to the narrative of what they were trying to do, to make it seem like they're real flesh and blood creatures. They were trying to say that there's nothing in the pictures, there's nothing on the rails, that there's nothing there because it's a bad camera quality or bad recording, blah 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 blah. And I would tell them, it's a look. When I started the recording, it would be fine. It's like when I enter the space or that area, it's like it would affect my camera. But even like that, since these people that were saying this, they're supposed to be important people in the cryptic community. That they want to stick to their narrative. So they was trying to. They would always say, "Abe is bringing a bad name to the cryptic community," and I'm like, "Wait a moment. I'm placing my evidence of what I'm capturing." I said, "The ones that are giving the cryptic community a bad name is the people that are dressing up in costumes and pretending to be a Bigfoot or a dogman. Those are the hoaxers that is giving what you're trying to do a bad name." But they wouldn't say it that way. The reason they wouldn't see it that way is because they want to continue the myth, the legend, or should I say the lie, to continue to be alive. So they would rather accept a hoax video or somebody in costume than accept the real spiritual evidence that I was showing them, right? Because it will go against their what they've worked to build, right? The work to build this Bigfoot or Dogman to be 100% flesh. And when I came along, I took away that perspective. You know, trust me, I had a lot of people come at me in a negative way, disrespecting me, calling me bad things, started trolling me. But that didn't stop me from pursuing my what I was told to do spiritually, and which was what I'm doing right now. Yeah, they want to name the Bigfoots and cryptids different names, but they don't want to call them demonic. You figure they don't want to call them demonic. Why wouldn't they call them demonic? Because it takes a perspective that they're real blood creatures. That's what they don't say demonic. They'll say any other kind of name, but I'm the one that brought in the DDM perspective, disembodied demonic Nephilim, into the picture because it's exactly what they are. So I brought that into the. So they went from saying they were flesh blood creatures to saying, okay, well, what if they're from a different planet? What if the Bigfoots are from a different planet and they're coming from a different dimension, and maybe the UFOs are affiliated with the Bigfoots? That's what they try to say. To keep the narrative of that the Bigfoots are flesh and blood still, but they're being dropped by UFOs and stuff like that. Uh, the way I see it is this: demonic entities, demons, they can manifest to anything. What if there are not flesh and blood creatures? There are not UFOs. They're not aliens in any kind of way, and they're not coming from a portal, but they are the what you're seeing or witnessing are manifestations of the demonic the DDN are taking, which is manifestation of a Bigfoot, manifestation of a light, right? Because they can turn into orbs, look like an orb. So why can they can look like a UFO, right? Because that's what the angel of light, Lucifer, had those capabilities. So that's what I feel that's what they are. They have those capabilities to deceive people, uh, and that's what I bring to the table. And I'm just saying it straight up, truthfully, because I've been out there in the military 10 years, and I've seen animals out there: cougars, tigers, mountain lions, um, wildcats, wild boars. If they're running to an object, they're going to hit. If I've seen cougars fighting on trees, and they're jumping from tree to tree, fighting each other, and branches are breaking. Seen them fall to the ground when I was out there on my tanks, on the tank and on Fort Hood. Uh, if it's something that's real and is running towards the tree, supposedly trying to teleport, if it hits a tree, it's going to get knocked out because the tree is a solid object. Something that's in the flesh is solid, so it's going to get knocked the f out, right? Just like people, if you're running toward a tree, we're going to knock the f out by a tree, Uh, so in saying that, I'm just saying that nothing in the flesh has the capability to do something like that. Not unless the tree is not a tree, but an illusion, right? That is an illusion casted by something, and it seems like you're going through a tree, but you're really not, because it's just a like those things that you put up for Halloween, and did you see something? Well, in some sense of way, like an illusion caused by through the computers, right? But something in the flesh that runs in a tree is going to get knocked the f out. Is going to get seriously injured or something in that nature. Um, Sometimes you have to be blunt, you know. And I think that's one of the reasons that people dislike what I have to say, or They try to say bad things about me. Oh, don't follow brother HCS because he don't see it our way, and all this stuff. I'm just being truthful of what I've experienced, of what I witnessed. From being out there in the woods. I used to live in the woods when I was in the army. We go out there for 45 days and we're training in the woods day and night, 45 days. Uh, in the woods, in the desert. I train in all terrains. In Germany, the woods were pretty thick. So, and it gets pretty dark, like pitch dark with so much woods, and, I witnessed a lot of things out there. Yeah. Uh, they don't want to admit that. I mean, if people had a relationship with Jesus Christ, then they would understand uh, where I'm coming from. Because then, if they had a relationship with Him, they would understand the same thing spiritually. They're being guided through Jesus Christ, they would understand the same thing that I'm saying right now. Trust me. When I brought this into the cryptic community because of Dogman Encounters in 53, that I said that they were demonic, I've stuck to it. Why did I stick to that? Because that's what I witnessed. You know, when you experience something and you go through it, and you're surrounded by six of them, they're like 9 foot tall, and they're looking down at you in the middle of the woods. When you get lured into the woods because a woman is crying for help, and you could go, you have options. The options was run 10, 50 feet and jump into the creek. But the one that was like 5 feet away from me would probably follow me that ways, run to the highway, which was probably like 50 feet away. There was three that were on the left flank, on the left side, that would have chased me down. So, and I had a bat in my hand. That's all I had was a bat in my hand because I went there with no flashlight. Uh, and I've seen how big they were. I've seen six of them. They were like in, I would say, 10-meter intervals in between them. So there were kind of like, how should I say, how we train in the military. When we do maneuvers, we train in intervals. Like we have space in between us. Normally, when you have space in between you, is if somebody shoots, it'll kill the whole group that's together, right? So you could say they're tactful, right? Like military trained or in that nature. How the military trains, they're tactful. They had 10-meter intervals in between them. No, I'm talking to you in depth. So whoever's here during this test live is going to learn something today. So they had 10-meter intervals, which is 10, 10, 20. So there's 30. So there's three on one side and three on the other. The ones on the left side were position different. There was one low to the ground. There was one that was set up like he was going to ready to bum rush like a quarterback, and then there was one in the distance that was standing straight up. The ones on the right were all standing straight up. So what was I supposed to do? I seen how big they were. I look at my bat. I had a wooden bat. The bat compared to their height looked like a toothpick. So I said, okay, I don't know what the things are, if they're real or not. I'm gonna just drop my bat because if there's something real, I don't want them to think that I'm coming at them in an aggressive manner. So I dropped the bat, right? Which that would have been my only protection that I had, right, physically. But the bat wasn't going to do nothing to him. There was that big, so I dropped the bat. So I'm there, and they're looking at me. I could see the whiteness of their eyes looking at me, and they're just looking at me just to see what I'm going to do. So I'm looking at them. They're looking at me, and I said, I need to get fear out of my mind, right? So in order for me to get fear out of my mind, I went to my safe haven. I went to where I have my peace foundation, which is my inner sanctum, where I praise the Lord Jesus Christ. I went there spiritually, and I started praying the deliverance prayer, the Our Father. I prayed it numerous times. Once I felt the heavenly presence of angels around me because I prayed for the Heavenly Father to protect me. That's when I took my first step. I was there for a while before I took my first step. I might have prayed for about, I would say, about 5 minutes till I felt a certain way spiritually before I took my first step. So I was there 5 minutes, and they were all they were there around me, right? So when I started, I said the only way out of here is to go the same way I travel in here because I know the path, which would be I would have to walk right through the middle of them, in which I did. And I kept on praying, and I made like my own tunnel vision and just ignored the presence, like I ignored the presence, and I was saying the deliverance prayer, the Our Father who art in heaven. As I kept on walking through the middle of them, they started saying something. All of them were. And what they were repeating was this. They're all saying this. All of them, as I was saying the Our Father, they were saying the Holy One, the Holy One. They were acknowledging the prayer of the Our Father, and they were saying the Holy One, the Holy One. They all acknowledged the prayer as I was walking through them, and wish they did not attack. They left me alone. Right there by itself, that was telling me that these beings that were around me, as they were acknowledging the Our Father, were demonic of nature. The Legion knew who Jesus Christ was, so they acknowledged the prayer. And I left. I never turned back. I never looked back. I just walked out of there. I made it to the park. I never turned around to see if anything was following me or nothing. I kept on praying. I prayed all the way till I made it home. And that's where my sister was waiting. I do not know how long I was in there. All I know is I lost the track of time because I was fighting spiritually in there. And my sister was worried about me because I guess I must have been gone for a while. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, that's all I got it. That's the story. That part of the story I shared it on my first podcast I ever did for Dogman Encounters episode 53. What happened, what I was feeling. If you listen to it, you hear exactly, and it's like my story got cut big time because it didn't put everything that I said there. So because it didn't fit the narrative of a dogman or a werewolf or a lycanthrope, that's something that's a flesh and blood, right? Uh, it fit the narrative of because and then they kept it in there where I said that I believe it was demonic because of the time frame. The time frame when I was lured there was 3 a.m. That's why I felt that what I ran into out there was demonic in nature. Yes, yes. That day that I went out there in Elms Grove, I put anointed and I say a prayer before I went out there. Which I was following the sound of the woman yelling for help. I mean, it was a woman yelling for help. Uh, you could literally say, "Help, help me!" She's saying, "Help me!" Uh, there were some people that try to say, "Well, maybe what you heard was not a woman yelling for help. Maybe what you heard was that's a mating sound like cougars and cougars do." I said, "No, it was a woman yelling for help. I mean, I could hear her say, 'Help me!'" She was literally. I was close to the disembodied voice saying, "Help me!" That it literally sounded like a woman. I was fixing to swing the bat because I got so close to the disembodied voice yelling for help. So as I was fixing to swing the bat, uh, the sound stopped of the woman yelling for help. The only thing I could say, I can give you the location. You just be careful because what's there uh, is very evil. It knows what's in your heart. It knows what you're thinking. Before you even walk into that area, it already knows. You could be driving by in your vehicle and it already knows you. There's a lot of accidents that happen on the highway also where a lot of people have died. So it's one of those things, brothers and sisters, that you really have to be, even if you're spiritually prepared, you're going to be tested. You're going to be tested there spiritually. It's kind of like a spiritual testing ground. People call it, it might be a native India program, but it's like a spiritual testing ground because you're going to be tested to the fullest there. I got tested to the fullest. Maybe it's something that I had to go through, right? But I was tested to the fullest there in Elms Grove. Just want to understand, is there's people that go out there. They say they're searching for something that's real. Some people say that they want to kill it, and I laugh about that because I fought spiritually against it. And I can tell you this right now, there is no weapon that man can create to destroy the disembodied demonic Nephilim. The only way you can fight that, and I'm calling disembodied demonic Nephilim because that's exactly what it is. It's not a Bigfoot. It's not a dogman. It's demonic of nature. It has the capability to manifest, to look into any beastly form, and can mimic disembodied voices, can mimic different voices. The only way you're going to be able to fight this is through Jesus Christ. That's the only way that you're going to be able. That's how I survived. I'm here speaking to y'all. I survived through Jesus Christ. I had a bat in my hand. I threw the bat of what I seen, but I did not give it power through belief of what I was seeing. I didn't fear it. I just went to where I'm the strongest spiritually, which is my love foundation, my safe haven through Jesus Christ. And that's how I fought them, was through Jesus Christ. They acknowledged the prayer because they even know who the Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ, is, right? They acknowledged the prayer. And I came out of there safely. Yeah, if I had a camcorder, I wasn't when I went into the woods, I wasn't there to searching for a Bigfoot, searching for a dog man. I went there because there was a woman yelling for help. That's what people don't understand. I wasn't into the cryptids. I just share my story of what I experienced. I wasn't there looking for a Bigfoot. I was coming from a spiritual community called Light Workers of the World and Light Worker Life Feeds. And I got brought into the cryptid community. So I was sharing my story of what I witnessed and experienced. I wasn't about Bigfoots or what people call dogman. I just share my story of what I witnessed, what they look like, what they look like. They were tall and they looked like they were like werewolves, beasts standing on twos. That's what I witnessed. But then when I went into prayer and they acknowledged the deliverance prayer, then they're telling me that those beings that were out there were demonic of nature, in which they left me alone because the prayer, the Our Father protected me from them, because instead they couldn't attack spiritually at that time because I was being protected by the prayer. When they started attacking me later on is when they kept on manifesting themselves and showing themselves to me, in which I said to myself, I said, well, maybe I had forgotten about the real deal, which was they acknowledged the deliverance prayer, which that by itself should say they're demonic. So as they kept on showing themselves to me, I said, well, maybe, and they broke a oak tree and it fell on the ground. Then I said to myself, well, maybe they are real, which that's a form of belief, right? When I said that, that's when they stopped showing themselves to me. They stopped showing themselves to me, but then they started attacking spiritually, unseen, where I could hear something running, and I got hit in the back. I fly 4 or 5 feet, tumble around, get my guards up. There's nothing there. I started getting attacked demonically. They were trying to destroy me demonically. They were attacking me unseen. So I'm just speaking in truth here, guys. I have no reason to lie. Y'all know me. Uh, when I found out that I left an opening because I believed when they broke the tree that it was something real, and that one didn't even look like a dogman or a Bigfoot. That one looked more of like like it was like a cat or a demonic from the face and the body of a like a wildcat because he had spots all over it, and it literally was like over 6 foot tall, standing. He ran into the creek. You could hear the water splashing, and came back into the wool line and ran. But you got to remember that they can mimic voices. So basically, what I'm saying that they can mimic breaking of branches. They can mimic like water splashing. They can mimic all these things. That's what they do. They're tricksters. Why do they do it? So you can believe that they're real. So once you believe that they're real, that's when they attack you spiritually. He was pretty. That one was like around 6 foot 5. He wasn't as big as the manifestation of the off what that black the black werewolf because I seen one that was supposedly like gray, reddish and brownish. This one was different. Could it have been? It was just it's they tried to get you to believe what you're seeing is real. Once you believe that what you're seeing is real, then that's when they attack you spiritually. So you could say I was fighting for not just for my life, but trying to save my soul against these demonic forces there. These are the things that the crypto community is not going to talk about. They're not going to talk about this because they want to stick to the narrative that they're flesh and blood creatures. I'm speaking to y'all about this because I battled this offers. I battled them spiritually, so I know what I'm talking about, man. My show reels by itself is sufficient evidence so people can see that they do exist and they come out of thin air, that they are not from this realm, that they're demonic in nature. You can see the beastly forms. I believe somebody said here they've seen like 3 of them, right? That they look like 3 were coming at me. I have no reason to lie. If I believe I'm putting out some pretty good evidence out there so people can understand what they're dealing with, and that's why I'm here. And I left the cryptid in there because I'm bringing the spiritual aspect to it, whether people like it or not. Whatever they call whatever they're focusing on. I'm bringing the spiritual aspect because that's my mission right now. When you get attacked spiritually and you fight spiritually, uh, and you go through it and you overcome it, then it became a mission to bring awareness to people in the paranormal community, people in the cryptic community, UFO community, any kind of community, is to bring the spiritual awareness of what they're dealing with. And that's why I do this. Yes, man, I got shoved off a cliff. Right there by where in Elms Grove, I got chopped up. I was coming from the grocery stores. There was a Dollar General, and there was a path in the woods that I would cut. And as you were cut through the woods, you go by the creek, and there's a trail that you could go down, grab a tree, and go into the creek bed and cross the creek bed, and I go into the park of where I live in Elms Grove. Well, I remember I was walking with 2 bags of groceries in my hand, and as I got close to the edge, I just heard footsteps coming from behind me. I get shoved hard, and I'm falling into the creek. It's what probably like a 12, no, I'll say like 14, 15 foot drop. But I was strong that I was able to pick up a bag of groceries, grab a tree that was there, and it was like a skinny tree, and the tree started bending, you know, with me. So I was seeing the creek bed coming towards my feet as it was bending, and I could see it getting close and close. I let go of the branch, and I was able to land safely in the creek bed. There was no water in there; it was just the creek bed itself. If I wouldn't have grabbed onto that tree, that fall of a drop, I would have most likely broken my ankle, messed up my knee, got in or broken a bone, seriously injured. Um, Now those entities, I believe, that attacked me was the shapeshifter skinwalkers in that area, which were native from that as for Central Texas. That's how they will hunt. That's how they will kill their prey, and not just hunt like the at one time there used to be buffalo, the deer. They will also kill their enemy that way. They will wait for the enemy to get close to a ridge, and then they just shove them off. Whether it's a cliff, a ridge, or near a creek bed, so they can land and break a leg or something. Then they go for the kill. That's how the natives in this Central Texas that were cannibalistic. Uh, that's how they were attacked. Yeah, this is what I'm about. I'm speaking the truth about this. I honestly don't care uh, if people don't want to say bad things about me. I'm just speaking the truth. That's just me. I'm a truthful person. I have no reason to lie of what I've been through and my experiences. It's those people that want to continue to believe that they're real, uh, because to them it's a moneymaker for them, or they feel that they're important in the community that they're in because they're well known. I mean, look at the guy that took the secret of the Patterson field to the grave. That was literally, you could literally tell it's a person in costume, man, from that time era of, if you're into movies, and you would see the Bigfoot, King Kong movies. You would see like the TV shows like Lost in Space, or even Saturday shows where they show certain people in certain costume. You could tell literally it's mesh. That is, the costume is made out of mesh. You know, um, in which there was a guy that the one that wore the costume that said he was like 20 something years old. That he admitted to it, even though the other people were dead. There's people in the crypto community that want to protect those people. Why? Because they want to stick to the narrative of the lie. How come they can just say, hey, yeah, he was a hoaxer. He hoaxed. He played people. Speak the truth. You can even tell by the walk that it was a person in costume. How you doing, Texas Lermy? Just like if you look up a lot of the people in costume right now, there's a lot of people that's okay. We're in 2024, and the costume look more realistic. Let's put on a costume, but you can literally tell it's a person in costume because they have the posture and the walk as a person. It's crazy. Look at the videos, man. What I do, this is what I do. I just don't look at the video how it's being played. I download the video, and I have an app where I can shorten the video. There was one where somebody said, "Oh, there's a Bigfoot walking," and I was looking towards the feet, and you could see that it was a tennis shoe underneath the bottom of the foot. which means it's a person wearing a costume. So there's a lot of scammers. There's a lot of hoaxers out there right now. There's a lot of them on TikTok and on TikTok. There's a lot of them on TikTok. That man, it's crazy, man. I wonder what they would do if they really ran into what I ran into out there. That what would they do? What would they? I mean, I don't know. How would they be able to handle the situation? Oh yeah, I speak the truth, and to this day, I haven't had nobody that's from the cryptic community say, "Okay, I wanna have a conversation with you about all this. You speak your truth, I speak my truth." To this day, I haven't had nobody talk to me in the way. I had an open challenge a long time ago. Whoever wants to go see Elms Grove to witness it for themselves, how there are demonic in nature and there, these dark shadow figures that appear. Nobody took that challenge. Nobody. There was only some people that even know about the challenge. That they see me from this was this Haunted Season 3 episode 2 that they said if I could take them to the location. I took them through the day where it's safe. I left them in the woods. And when they came out of there, they said they had an experience. They said that they were walking on the path where I had my encounter of the six, and that they heard something. They heard movement. So they got down on their knees, so to make sure it wasn't them making the movement, and they could hear something running around them in circles. Well, they could literally hear the footsteps of something running around them in circles. So when they came out of there, they said that they wouldn't go there at nighttime at all. So they had an experience there during the day, uh, and it's kind of like the how should I say those spirits that are there or unclean spirits, whatever they are. They know what's in somebody's heart. They know what in somebody's spirit, right? So they attack accordingly. Oh yeah, they feed on fear. They feed on belief. If you're believing what you're seeing, imagine you're out there with your buddy or somebody you go in a group, and then next thing you lose touch with them out there, and then they pop up somewhere and they're calling your name, like, "Hey, come over here, come over here." They're calling you to go somewhere, and you follow to where they're calling you, and then when you go there, they're not there. Then when you're walking out of there, going back onto where you were at, your friend is coming from the park, you know, and that's the real them. So whatever manifestation they took wasn't the real person. That's what they can do. They can mimic voices of the people that you're with, the group that you're with. It's kind of like that. They know this. If they know the spirit, then they know they have the ability to mimic that vessel and to mimic their voices also. That's what they do. Well, they want to. What they do is this: they try to eliminate somebody like me out of the equation, which they tried numerous times. When I had my group Positive Spiritualist, my Facebook, because that's where I was working through was Facebook. So they targeted my Positive Spiritualist, and the whole cryptic community started coming at me, in which my Facebook got permanently deleted. Not just my Facebooks, when your Facebook gets permanently deleted, then my group Positive Spiritualist got permanently deleted. I had downloaded enough videos from there to be able to continue my works, in which I had to rebuild Positive Spiritualist again and redo another Facebook account. They target me again. So I said to myself, what am I going to do? And of course, since I played Jesus Christ first, is you know what, Abe? where you've been, what you've been through in the military, what you've done, and everything you've been through in life. There is no giving up in you. So what do? I created spiritual encrypted encounters. Started growing slowly, on Facebook, and I created one on YouTube, which I would just put in my own videos, and it was getting targeted. The one on Facebook was getting targeted, and the one on YouTube was getting targeted. I was able to make 1,000 subscribers on Facebook. Then I was able to go up to 2,000, and I think I'm like at 2,100, 2,200. But people kept on targeting my videos. I had to leave groups that had invited me to go to them because what they were doing is reporting my content. So the Facebook kept on flagging me, right? That's how they did it the first time. So I said, you know what? From now on, he said the only place I'll place things is somewhere where I'm admin or moderator from, so I can eliminate somebody flagging me intentionally. Because normally when somebody flags you or reports you, it's got to be the admins or moderators doing that. So I left a lot of groups that were from the crypto community because that's what they were doing. So my spiritually encrypted encounters here, if y'all can tell at the very beginning, is I was downloading the videos from Facebook and placing them here, which that's why I got so many, because I was doing that for a long time. I was at a 500 and something, 565. Then I started doing like short reels, and that started picking up my numbers till I was able to start doing lives, and I finally reached, and like in 3 days, it's like it took a while, but I finally reached 1,000 subscribers, and we're growing. Basically, what I'm saying, they were stopping me. They're trying to prevent me from growing on Facebook, and they were preventing me from growing here on Spiritually Encrypted Encounters because they didn't want me to bring the truth out of the disembodied demonic Nephilim. And I still brought the truth of the disembodied demonic Nephilim, and I've done several podcasts. There were some podcasts that would put me there to set me up for failure, but spiritually, I know, right? So I let them say whatever they're going to say, and then I say my truth, and it's like when somebody's trying to set you up for failure, what's gonna overcome something that when somebody's trying to set you up for failure is the truth. So when I'm speaking in truth and I'm saying it truthfully, that overrides anything that anybody's trying to do to me to take my reputation or take me as an individual. So I speak in truth. And the ones that are listening through their earpods, they're listening to the conversation that I'm speaking of, and I'm sharing my wisdom and knowledge. They're tuning in and they're liking what they're hearing. They're like, man, they can tell when somebody's being real, and they can tell when somebody's lying. For those that are loyal viewers of podcasts, you can tell when a story is legit, and you can tell when somebody is falsifying themselves because sometimes a question can be asked, the same question could be asked in a different form numerous times, and the answer should be the same answer, right? Every time, no matter how they ask the question, and that's how you can catch people in lies. Oh yeah, they're the real. People say, "Where's your evidence?" I even placed the video, guys. If you want to check it out, I placed the full video of it, so y'all can check it out when it happens in the video. Normally, I create a short reel, so people that are into short reels, they tune into the short reels because a lot of people just want to look at short reels. But I placed the video here. If you look, I placed the video, and I think I said there's the video, the full video. I placed it there last night, like I promised. Look at it, and you're going to see when it surfaces up. And that's the evidence that I bring to the table. It's real evidence, real evidence because I'm capturing it when I'm recording my lives. It's not like I'm out there like literally searching, going through the woods. They just come to. I could be in the path, and they come charging at me, walking on a path. You know, I've caught some. I've caught one that looks freaking. Oh, man, when we talk about Wendigo, I got one that I captured in the woods. That was humongous, man. Uh, that was like, I would say 11, 12 foot tall. I couldn't see it through the naked eyes, but I could sense something around me. So I kept on moving the camera around, and I captured it on tape. How he was looking at me, and he wasn't looking at me like he wanted to be my friend. Just put it that way. He was real tall. Like I said, they manifest to look different. How you doing, Sister Ivy? Oh man, I've seen it where I'm walking right, and all of a sudden, because when I walk, I'm paying attention. This is something from the military. I pay everything attention in front of me, and through my peripheral vision, I pay what's behind me. So I'm walking, and it's like a full circle that I'm making. What I'm able to see behind me, right? So one time I was recording, and I seen a face of what seemed to be a DDN appear on my left side. It was tall, and it was looking down at me. And I said, "I rebuke in Jesus Christ's name," and it took off real fast, and like super fast. It wasn't running like a. It was a flesh and blood. It moves in disembodied form. Yeah, it's like you gotta when you're out there. I'm not out there to listen to Mother Nature. I'm not. I'm out there spiritual ready, man. And by spiritual ready, you have to prepare yourself before, during. If you have to fight spiritual during and after, so you have to be aware of what's around your spiritual aura, your bubble of protection, right? You have to be aware of what's trying to enter it to be able to fight what's trying to enter it. That's what I understand, man. All these people that go out there and they're looking for a dog man or a Bigfoot, and they have no results of something in the physical. I'm always sure that they most likely experience something spiritual, but they never say that. They never say that because they don't take to believe that they're flesh and blood creatures. And we lost a lot of people in the crypto community that they've died through sicknesses, and the paranormal community also that died through sicknesses because that's what they do. Once they attach and bond you, and you don't do the right thing to take authority over it in Jesus Christ's name, to rebuke it, to leave your body alone, then it's there like a leech, and it just makes you sick. That even takes you out of this world. And imagine this: if people have too much pride because they don't want to admit that what they're dealing with is something that's spiritual in nature, that they don't want to call upon Jesus Christ to help them. They don't want to pray against it. They don't know to type on rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. And they say, oh, it's probably nothing. He just, that's part of life. But it's that demonic, should I say, the demons that have bonded their body that are making them sick. That all they have to do is call upon Jesus Christ and say, I take authority over you, leave my body, leave my vessel. I type on rebuke in Jesus Christ's name, and they will become better. But there's people out there that have too much pride because it takes away from their work of what they've been doing for years. They've been doing it for years. Did they call themselves professionals, or that they're in cryptozoology, or they're professionals? They label themselves hunters or professionals. Okay, you label yourself a hunter of a dogman or a Bigfoot, but where's the proof? Where's the evidence that you're a hunter? Where's the dead Bigfoot or the dead werewolf or dead lycanthrope or dogman? Right? No proof. You hear stories where people say they killed something. Where's the proof? Where's the picture? Right? I show you my proof. I got my recording. I'm out there recording. and I capture the proof from my recordings, and I share the proof that they do exist in disembodied form. And you're seeing something that looks beastly, but you could tell they're not full flesh and blood. They are coming at me in disembodied form because they're demonic in nature. I'm I'm showing you my proof, and I don't. I'm already showing you something that's dead, basically, because the disembodied demonic Nephilim have been dead a long time ago when the earth flooded and their bodies got destroyed. So what I'm showing you is the residue that's left of them, which is the DDN, the disembodied demonic Nephilim, because they're demonic. So I'm showing you their demonic form and how they manifest. So right there by itself, man, I'm doing everything in my spiritual wisdom and knowledge to bring awareness to the not just the spiritual, the paranormal, and the cryptic community or any community. Yeah, there's a lot of guys. Some guys they have me in their shows, and then they want to make fun of people that are spiritual, and they want to make fun about people like, oh, well, I don't believe in that. Well, I don't believe in that. So they don't believe in that, but they're believing in a Bigfoot and they're believing in a dogman that's not real. And I have the proof to show it. I show them the proof, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's just a glitch, or that's just pareidolia." I have a where it's moving, seeing it moving coming towards me. You know, it's like I'm showing the proof, but they want to stick to their excuse my language because they come at me in a negative way. I'm going to say it like this: they're being bonded, right, for them to believe it is something real. So they're sticking to the stupidity of the demons that are bonding them. That's messing with their head to stick to the narrative that they're flesh and blood creatures, which they're not. Because if they were, they would have already had some solid proof by now. So many freaking years, right? So many centuries, they would have had some solid proof throughout the centuries. I'm just being honest, man. I've gotten invited to some shows where they try to make it seem like what I'm saying is not the truth because I want to stick to the agenda that is there's a well maybe it's not there's demonic. It's like people want to say everything is demonic, you know, and it's like me. I could say, well, everybody want to say that they're real, but they're not because where's the proof? The only thing we see is people pretending to be a Bigfoot or a dog man. You know, there's several podcasters or hoaxers out there. They're living the hoax. Just because you find a print of something on the ground don't mean that it's legit. You know, when something's wet on the ground, you could be a regular foot of something and it slides in the mud and it's going to make the appearance look bigger, right? Just because you find a hair in the woods of something doesn't mean it belongs to a Bigfoot or a dog man. You notice all the people. There's some people that they call them their cryptic friends, and that they give them offerings and stuff like that. They say, "Okay, there's a picture of my family." You look at the picture, you see images of something, but it's not something that's in the flesh. That is solid proof that it's a flesh being. But what you do see sometimes in the pictures is something that's there that looks might look beastly, but it's more of a disembodied form, right? Because they can use the elements to manifest themselves. That's what I witnessed, in which if the people they're believing that they're friends, when they're believing that they're friends, they're actually being bonded by them. They're being demonized by them, in which they're being controlled for them to think that they're friends. They give them offerings, and they're just getting a stronger hold over them. That's what they do. Bond them. That's where Wendigoism comes from. People there in the wood, they start losing their minds, right? Because they're seeing these things. I mean, they're even calling them friends now, in which they don't go pull the chairs in their kitchen table and sit down to eat with them on the table. They're not interested in being your friend. They're just interested in one thing, since they're demonic in nature. They're interested in just destroying mankind, anybody created under God's image, right? If they can bond the people in charge of the household, then they go after everybody else within the household because of the belief factor. So then you start having activity in the house where your child is saying, "Mom, there's a wolf like that. The book Little Red Riding Hood in the room. He comes and visits me every night, you know." Or I see this Bigfoot picking through my window every night. No, what it is it's trying to take over the whole household. It's trying to attack the family. I'm just being straight up, man. Sometimes you have to be straight up to tell people the truth, and I'm just being straight up. No, I've told people, so okay, you say they're real. Take a picture with them right beside you, like them holding your arm. Then all of a sudden, what did the government do? Or they create AI, AI to bring more deceit into the spiritual aspect of things, right? They start creating this AI thing where people are making up things to look realistic, but you could tell literally they're AI. That's completely different than what I'm capturing. What I'm capturing on my recordings is not AI because it's completely looks different and it's not something that's flesh and blood. It's in disembodied form. That's what I bring to the table. But yeah, if they want to believe in that, that's on them. The only thing I can do is just share speaking truth. Whether people want to continue to follow me of what I'm speaking or what I bring to the table, that's on them. I'm just speaking the truth, and not just speaking the truth. I'm showing you all proof. Check out the picture I took that I placed today. But that picture's on spiritual encrypted encounters. Maybe I'll share it here and recreate it where I can have different filters, and I'll place it as a short reel. You can see two. If I were to say two lands, that would mean two Earths but it looks different than the one in the bottom. I'll place that picture, and in between that, you can see sky. You know how people talk about land between the lakes? Well, how about this? I got one better for you, since we're talking spiritually. Land between the sky. How about that? Land between the sky. How could there be land between the sky? Disembodied. Land between the sky in a spiritual perspective, right? Because there's no way land can be between the sky, right? Spiritually, all is possible spiritually. I have a picture, and I'm going to place it so y'all can check it out, where you can see sky in between the lands, because there's two lands in that picture and a sky in between. Yeah, it's a time rip within our timeline. That's how they manifest. They can come from the past, and in some of the pictures I capture, there's buildings that look old from back in a different time frame, time era. They do rips in time, and I guess it's demons. If time is a past, a present, and the future, those timelines are still open. So they send them to those timelines of the past, the present, and from the future to come and try to attack you spiritually. That's why you can see in those little. If you really look into that picture, look at the little squares, and you can see something in each square. So you might be able to see buildings, because they're coming from different rifts within the timeline from the past, the present, and the future. Yes, brother Al. I just speak in truth, man. I know a lot of people been doing works for a long time, but I've been doing this work since I was a kid, and all this that I'm doing is not is it's just my destiny, man. I'm just following the spiritual lead that the Heavenly Father has given me, and I'm doing His works. And everything that I've been through in my life is preparation to what I'm doing right now. Y'all hear my stories. I have nothing to hide from nobody. Y'all can put a lie detector on me, and you'll see that my stories are 100% true. When they're in truth, they're in truth. But the reason I'm putting myself out there in the line, brother and sister, spiritually, because I want my brothers and sisters to awaken to the spiritual threat that's upon us. You can't give it power through belief. When we could understand to come to an understanding that they exist, right? But we can give it power through belief. We can give it power through fear, no matter what manifestation, what disembodied voice it mimics. We can give it that kind of power through fear because they'll attack us. If you give it power through fear, through belief, if you have a spiritual opening of hatred, family feud, anger, unforgiveness, it'll use that to come up against you. I'm just saying that is to prepare yourselves. And I'm going out there and I'm capturing the evidence for y'all, man. So you don't have to go do it. I'm posting it for y'all. Whatever I capture, I post. Look to all my videos. I've had images. I even bought me a new camera just to try to get a better picture because they bring when they break into the timelines and they make a magnetic disturbance, and sometimes not just a magnetic disturbance, but they try to affect your spiritual aura. They try to affect your senses so you won't be able to sense them spiritually. But that's how great the power of the spiritual gift of discernment are, that you can sense them regardless of whatever they're trying to do. Um, but anyways, I think I went a little bit on the roll there, guys. This was supposed to be a quick video of me just testing out this equipment, even though that I don't have the good quality high picture as my cell phone. I was just trying to test to see if it works. I just gotta make the decision now whether I'm going to keep this or trade it for something else that's got better quality. But anyways, brothers and sisters, I don't want to keep all this. It was just supposed to be a quick lifey, like I said, tested my equipment and it just came to me this way. But sometimes when the Holy Spirit enters, man, it just uses you to preach and to say the things that it wants people to understand what's around, and that's how it goes. But I'll place a short reel. I have two pictures. They looks like two lands, and there's a sky between them. I have two pictures like that. Um, yes. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, uh, probably go live later on, and if I do go live, it'll be off my phone. This good brother Alex, that you're feeling a little bit better every day. God is amazing, and He will heal you, brother. You just have to open up your heart to Him, to allow Him in to heal you. He will heal you, brother. Thank you, Chu Perez. Appreciate you. Like I said, now that and it's like sometimes when the Holy Spirit comes and He just you should start saying things, it's because it's a message being sent, and sometimes it might reach out to somebody that might be here viewing or that's going to view later on. Uh, and that's how the Holy Spirit works. He uses those that He can use as a vessel to send a message. And I believe that That's what happened right now, where I'm just talking and talking and talking and talking because it's coming. It's coming naturally, you know. You don't even think about it; it just comes to you naturally, and just you sending the message, sending it out there to whoever views this video. Thank you, brother Alex. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, we'll keep you continue, brother Alex. Y'all seen last night? One of the videos, the very last video that I created. I found out there's a cousin of mine that's missing. It's been missing since I think this is March. He lives in Missouri, so no, I did a little prayer for him yesterday. If the Heavenly Father shows me something, I looked at his picture. You know, as I prayed, you know, Heavenly Father does show me things spiritually. So if I see anything spiritually, if it's not amongst us anymore, you know, the Heavenly Father will show me something, you know, in which I could probably help the family try to locate him. But I haven't sensed nothing in that nature yet. So maybe he might be alive. You know, wherever he's at, they're just trying to locate him. He lost contact with all family members. He had lost his job. Once he lost his job, he lost his home, and he's nobody knows where he's at. Yes, he's name is Cody, and he's 31 years old, which is my cousin's. Well, he's my cousin also now, but my cousin Dan's son. From my cousin Dan lives in Colorado, so you know I got him in prayer right now. I can tell you, man. Sometimes this forces they go after our next of kin. You know that's why we have to not just protect ourselves spiritually, but we have to keep our family members in prayer also, our next of kin, because that's what they do. They if they can get to somebody, they try to go after somebody that we love. We just have to how should I say uh, pray for our loved ones and and talk to our loved ones about the balance. You know, it's very important to talk to them about the balance so they could understand, just in case they get spiritually tested, that they will be able to handle whatever's coming up against them spiritually, right? Oh, they've already done that, brother Perez. They're checking the police is involved and everything. So, but that's what happens sometimes uh, through generational curses, where something that happened in the past could happen again through generation, and so because somebody needs to make a spiritual stance against that. But I try to keep everybody in prayer. Those that are willing to listen to what I have to say. And the reason I speak about the things that I speak of because I've been fighting spiritually against them for a while now, and I know what's out there in the woods. I've seen the animals that are out there, but also I've seen what I call the DDN, the disembodied demonic Nephilim. I've seen everything and everything that's within the woods. I've ran into a banshee when people might call her Lilith or a wraith. I mean, like wraith-like beings. I've ran into shadow beings. I've ran into skinwalkers, shapeshifters, the DDN. I seen one that manifested to look like a crocodile, where it was. This one was massive. It was during the day, and we had like a Mexican standoff. I'm standing on the open field, and I could see it in the wood, in a bit by a big tree. And this sucker has to be at least like 15 foot tall, and he's got his mouth open like a crocodile would do, like when he's got his mouth open like it's ready to attack. and he was looking at me, and I was looking at it, and I was waiting for it to try to charge me so I can rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name, because like I said, they manifest that way. So he was looking at me, and I was thinking about rebuking in Jesus Christ's name, and because I was waiting for it to see what he was going to do, and the next thing you know, he just disappeared. It's kind of like he knew what I was going to do. So instead of me getting rebuked by Jesus through Jesus Christ's name, he decided to leave me alone. I would have to look through that video to see if I can capture it, because it was a video that I had done where it was massive. But that one I could see, I was able to see spiritually, but yeah, spiritually that I could see it manifested the way to try to get to scare me. Okay, let's manifest to be look real big, and let's look like a crocodile from the face, and open up with jaws open so this guy can get scared so we can attack him spiritually. Yeah, and sometimes some of them when I see him like that, uh, I would have to look into that tape is an old tape, but that day I was seeing it visually. What people don't understand is like that the ultraviolet rays of the sun is breaks their cloak. What I mean by that cloak is the spiritual disembodied form. He broke their disembodied form in which ultraviolet violet rays of the sun breaks their disembodied form, and you're able to see them without even recording. That you're able to see them because the rays uh, gives them color, in which you're able to see their disembodied form. That's why I go during the day and investigate. I've been out there at nighttime, but at nighttime you can't see what's really out there. But they're out there at nighttime. Same. They're there 24/7. Uh, and nighttime when I go investigate, I get a lot of eye shine, like red eye shine, a lot of red eye shine. You know, in which red to me symbolizes represents demonic nature. So I get a lot of red eye shine in the pictures. Oh yeah, that's what they try to do. But I was looking at it like, even though it was like 3 times, 4 times bigger than me, I knew that it was something demonic, and I knew that if it charged me, that I was going to rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name. So instead of it trying to attack me because it was trying to get me to believe it was something real, it just disappeared instead. But it was pretty massive, man. It reminds me of the acrophilics of the pharaohs, where they had this these beings that looked like the dog man or Anubis, and then you had some that were like part bird, and some that looked like they were crocodile from the face. Well, yeah, well, you see the one that was charging me, that's huge. That's coming at me. If we would look at the time and space and measure it, it has to be, oh, man, tall. I'm not gonna. I can't even estimate how tall that is. That was what was coming at me. Yeah, they manifest that way for the fear factor, man. So if they can get you scared, then that's a spiritual opening where you're not going to see them, but they're going to attack you spiritually. You might start hearing running around you, getting shoved, getting hit, and if you believe, giving it power that you gave it power already through belief, well, then it's going to continue to attack you. That's why you say, "I take authority over you in Jesus Christ's name. I tie bind and rebuke you through Jesus Christ. You're not allowed around me, or you're not allowed to follow me. I tie bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. You have to fight spiritually." When have you heard a podcaster that messes with cryptids fight spiritually? And my videos, I have videos where I'm fighting spiritually. You could hear me saying the deliverance prayer. You could hear me saying, "I tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name," where I'm fighting them spiritually. You just have to look at the video. It's kind of like the ones where I got several videos where I'm in the woods. If you tune into those videos all the way through, you can hear where I'm fighting spiritually. Sometimes where I'm fighting, where they appear spiritually, or they make the presence known, in which I go into prayer. You have to pray, man. Have to bring Jesus Christ into the equation, especially when there's numbers of them. You don't know how many they are because they're in disembodied form or can't see them. There's normally they come in many, right? They come in numbers. So you have to go into prayer, bring Jesus Christ into the equation, in which you'll bring his heavenly angels, you'll bring the Holy Spirit, he'll cleanse the area and space within your personal space, and he'll help you go get out of there and go into safety. Yes, yes. There's a lot of people that went through some things there in Elms Grove. The Philippine lady, she's the one that first told me when I moved there, don't go into those woods. There's something evil there. And I said, well, what kind of evil is there? She said, I can tell you. And then she shared a story with me where she was picking flowers because she lived by the woods. So there's flowers from like daisies. She said she was picking flowers to make a little bouquet, and this big snake came out of the woods and wrapped itself around her. It was looking at her, and he had like red eyes, and he was whispered something to her. I asked her, "What did it tell you?" And she couldn't tell me what it told her. She just told me, "I'm just letting you know, do not go in there because there's something very evil there." So that was one of them. There was a man that lived in the outskirts, lived in the mobile home park, but in the by the main road. Uh, he was always sharpening his arrows. He had a bow and arrow. He had weapons. And as I was walking, when I was building up my leg, uh, his name was Chris. Um, he told me, "Hey man, if I was you, I wouldn't go out there where you're walking. I see you walking here. I'm just warning you, don't go out there." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because there's some there's something bad out there. There's some animals. There's some real animals that are dangerous." I said, what kind of animals?" They said, "Well, there's cougars, there's wildcats, but there's something else." He's like, "What do you mean something else?" I said, "Well, you see the target over there? He had a target set up in the wood line by the woods near him. So you see where the target is?" He said, "That's where they stand." I said, "What stands there?" And he looked at me. He said, "I don't want you to think I'm crazy or anything like that." He said, "But the werewolves stand there." That's what he said. The werewolves, they stand right there. So you say werewolves? Is how many werewolves do you see? I was new in the area. I was like, man, this guy's just pulling my leg. Then he's like, there's a lot of them that stand up right there. I get my bow and arrow, and I shoot at them from inside the house, through my window. But every time I shoot at them, should be a direct hit. It's a miss. The arrow just lands at the ground or lands where the target is. Uh, he took me inside his home. Oh man, that's when I knew that he was saying the truth. He was in fear for something. All right. I went in his house. This is what he showed me. Every window that he had a cross on it. Every passageway had a cross. The door had a cross, and each window, each door frame, all throughout his house, he had a weapon. There was weapons everywhere through his house, in his bedroom, in his restroom, in his living room, in his kitchen. He had weapons. And I said, "Why you have so many weapons laying out?" He said, "Because when they come here at nighttime, they try to break into my house. They try to come into my house, so I have to be prepared just in case they break into my house." He would tell me this, and After a while, he left. He got separated from the woman he was with, and he left somewhere else. He left the area, but he showed me all the things that he had. And there's he was one of them. There was numerous people. There was a homeless man that didn't even live in the park. There was a homeless man. The way I met this homeless man was at the store. There was a corner store called Mickey's, but this store blew up. But this man was living behind in the air by the AC units. And I said, "Hey man, what are you doing back here?" He said, "Well, so I'm just trying to get me some rest." I said, "I used to stay underneath that bridge over there. So, but I don't stay there no more." I said, "Why?" And he said, "Los." How did he say it? He said a certain term for him. The beast lived there. He said the beast lived there. It's like, what do you mean? What? Why are you not living underneath the bridge? He said one evening he was asleep underneath the bridge, and there's a picture of the little tent, man, where he used to stay. And if you look at it, Thought Man's Encounters, episode 53, there's a picture of a tent underneath that bridge. Well, he said that he was sleeping in a sleeping bag, and there was water in the creek. Uh, that he was laying there, and that he heard some splashing in the water, and he heard some growlings. When he looked, he said he seen them. He said, "What did you see?" He said, "There were beasts." It's like, "What do you mean beast?" He said, "Werewolf, beast. They were big." He said there were like six of them in the water, but their body was sticking out of the creek because they were so tall. You know. He said that he was you could say shitting bricks. Excuse my language. And he didn't move. He stayed frozen, and you could see him through the corner of his eye, and he didn't want to move because he was afraid if he moved, they would come for him. So then, when he said that they left that area, that's when he grabbed his stuff and got the hell out of there. Uh, but he told me that he witnessed them, and that's a guy that didn't even live in the park. And there was many other people. There was after the show. I did the show. This was Haunted Season 3, Episode 2. Something is out there on the Travel Channel. Uh, there was this XR major. He's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about something, man." So you know that show you did? So yeah. So well, I used to have a soldier, a high-ranking soldier that lived in the park you lived. He lived in the park, and he was always afraid. It was like, "What do you mean I was afraid?" I said, "Well, I would have to come pick him up just for him to go to work, and then I would have to drop him off because he was afraid to drive. He was afraid to do anything." He said, told me that he was always real tired because he couldn't sleep at nighttime. It's like he said that those things that I was talking about, they would come to his house, and he lived on the other side of the mobile home park. That they would come to his house, they'll be banging on his walls, and sometimes you would see him inside his home. He would tell him because he was the sergeant major was in charge of him, right? So he would tell him that he felt like he was being demonized or they were trying to possess him. Uh, that's why he told me, and I said, when I seen your story, man, the first thing I thought was about that soldier that was under me. So there was people that surfaced up that told me about the location. So many people surfaced up after the watch that encounter what I went through. There was this young kids when I first moved in there. They were gothic. They were always dressed in black. You know, this kid was very talented, where he could do flips in the air. Like he was pretty athletic, teenager, and he was always dressed in black. And they're always going into that path to the woods. Him and this girl was always going there. And I was like, "Hey, man, can I ask you a question? Why come you always go over there to those woods?" The Philippine lady already told me. what was out there, something was evil. And he's looking at me. He said, I can't tell you. He said, he'll get mad. I said, what do you mean he'll get mad? Who's going to get mad? I said, okay. He said, my master lives out there. I said, like, what do you mean your master lives out there? I said, how does your master look? Right? He said, my master is black. He looks black. It's like, what do you mean? He's African American? I said, no, he's black, like a dark shadow, you know? So these kids, they were going always over there to talk to their master. They said they would go over there to talk to their master, which lived in those woods. Uh, those The family moved, so I'm glad that they took that kid because I know now that most likely, something was luring him over to demonize him. So I'm glad, kind of glad that they left out of there. Uh, could be, there was some underneath the bridge. There were some satanic symbols underneath that bridge, also. Yeah, he could do a lot of things like a ninja, man, flip in the air, and they were dressed all in black. I guess, trust me, Chu Perez, the dark shadows that come out there out of the woods at nighttime, if you stand from a distance because there is lights in the park, you'll be able to see them, man, and they're pretty tall, and they're moving around real fast in the park, like they're running around chasing each other. Uh, the lady that to me she might have been a practitioner into some witchcraft. She was always burning leaves and talking a different language. The lady would always come to her house and ask my sister for a cigarette. My sister that day didn't have no cigarettes. And she said, okay, well, I'm just going to go to the store. She was a Puerto Rican lady. So she cut through the woods, not through the path that she went through the opposite side. I literally went through the woods. Well, that lady right there, there was a truck driver passing by through the highway, said that the lady just jumped in front of his vehicle. She jumped in front of his vehicle, and that was it. She was dead. What would make a person go into the store, right? Because that's where she was going. She was going to the store to buy a pack of cigarettes. The only thing that can make somebody jump in front of a vehicle that way is if they got demonized, and the demon head was in charge of the vessel and made the jumped because he had control of the body and jumped in front of in front of the trailer. That's how she got hit, and she died. I heard her because they can mimic voices, but I heard after she died, I heard her laughing one day. I was sitting in the park bench and I heard her laughing, where it echoed all the way across the park. I heard her laughing. No, this was completely some teenagers. The one I'm telling you about was some teenagers. I seen because the girlfriend stayed, or the girl, or her, I don't think that was or like girlfriend. They were just friends. One time I seen her walking through the thick brushes where there was thorns. Right, the mesquite has thorns, and other trees have thorns. She was literally walking through that, and she was acting like she was like some kind of cat, literally going through there on the side of the creek, which to me that was a form of possession, and she would act strange. She would act demonized. Yes, I've seen a lot of people get some people, uh, the ones that try to warn. I warned all my neighbors because I was seeing the shadow figures going into their homes through the walls of the mobile homes. They put a report on me, told them to leave my neighbors, to not tell my neighbors anything because I was scaring them. Uh, so within like 2 month time frame after I warned them, and I said, okay, I won't say nothing to nobody. I'll just protect my own household. You know, it's like All my neighbors died. It's like the neighbor behind me passed away. The neighbor across the street from her passed away. My neighbor that was behind her, the one behind me to the left passed away. There was a man in the RV beside her that passed away. There was a lady up the street that passed away, and there was this other guy that I knew that lived another block down that passed away. What they all had in common was this: that they were all found dead in their beds while they slept. Uh, one was found dead on the recliner, I guess, where they fell asleep. So you could say maybe possibly that they got their energy drained by what I call the succubus and incubus. Because they have those. I believe those shadow figures that I was seeing have those capabilities to drain energy. So I lost one, two, three, four, five, six neighbors within a 2 month time frame. And the thing that they all had in common is they were found dead in their bed. Miss Kim was she was a very good person. The Miss Evelyn, she kept the home protected spiritually, which was my neighbor to my right, my other neighbor, and that's the one where they were trying to attack her also. Where me and my nephew seen the first time we seen I guess it was a female, what people want to call a female dog man, but it was the brownish reddish one that we seen pick. It was picking over her SUV. She had a white SUV, so it was pretty tall. You could see the head and the neck sticking out from there. At first, we thought it was a deer, right? But then when we seen it running across the yard out the back fence, it's like, man, that's no deer. It's running like on twos. And then we seen it on the road, and it's like doing like a low crawl, and it's like, is that a dog? It's like, no, that's too big to be a dog. Then he got on four, like a fours. I said, I think it's a deer. But then he stood on twos. When he stood on twos, I said, that's no dog and that's no deer. What the F is it? And it was looking at us because it was standing underneath the light pole. It was looking at us. And then he started running down the street. He was running down the street. We started running from our street, on our side of the street. That one, I think, went cut through the mobile homes. But underneath the other tree, there was a black one. That one was massive. That one was like two sizes bigger than the one we seen. So that one was pretty tall. The manifestation was pure muscle. Looked like it weighed like 750 to more pounds because it was all muscle. Uh, the legs were inward, and when he was running, it was like a long stride and a bounce, a long stride and a bounce, in which, as big as it was, it dusted us. It left us behind real fast, and that's when we were running at full speed, and it left us behind that fast. When you see things like that, you're like, man, is it real? Are they real? Is it something real? It's when I gave it the belief factor that it was real. That's when it attacked me spiritually. I have pictures where I have scratches on my back. I have pictures when I got shoved off the ridge, where my body is black and blue. You know what? I'm gonna post them. I'm gonna post the pictures of when I got attacked, so you see what y'all think. I had a picture of a giant bite mark. I don't. I never. I lost the footage of that. Uh, but I have pictures of where I'm black and blue from my body from fighting them, where they shot me off a ridge. I'll post them so y'all can see. I used my body to block the boulders trying to hit my head. They were trying to they literally tried to kill me, man. Trying to eliminate me from this world. Uh, What I'll do, I'll make a short reel of it. I have pictures where I got scratched on my back. I think they showed that picture on This Was a Haunted Season 3, Episode 2. The other pictures that I got happened afterwards, after I did that. Let me see. It was before I did the show. Um, but it's like my body's black and blue. And it's like it got worse after that. I was like in crutches for about 3 months. Before that, I had got chopped off a. It was like a not that far of a drop, probably like a 7 foot drop. But the way I landed, I hurt myself pretty bad. I hurt my arm. Uh, but I believe there's a lot of haunted places everywhere in the desert. The Degen, it has a pretty strong hold over there because man, you could hear disembodied voices in the air. There's nothing blocking the wind. Sometimes the wind makes noises, but when you're hearing voices of people moaning, like children and women and things of that nature, it's like, man, what is this? The wind makes this kind of noise. So you're hearing people in pain, and then you start seeing the silhouettes in the nighttime of the DDN. I mean the gens. To me, it's the same thing. Out there in the desert, I went to Saudi Arabia in the '90s. Then I went in '95. Uh, I went into the Gen out there in the night when I was in Operation Desert Storm. Then I witnessed them again when I went back in '95. So there were a lot more Degen. I mean, I only got to see the one when I was out there in the Operation Desert Storm, but when I went in '95, there was a lot more. And they're running numbers, which that's the Legion or DDN. But I would see the manifest. They'd be wearing those. Uh, how should I say? They look like dark shadow figures. Dark shadow, just the same thing as the DDN. They take that manifestation, dark shadow figures. Sometimes they look like they're wearing those black robes. Uh, then they want you to believe what you're seeing, so they can get power over you. Thank you, brother Joe Rogan. I know somebody try to create some kind of triangle here in Texas. That's saying that this place are haunted. All throughout Texas. It's not just Texas. One of the things that there's in Texas that I don't know if it's where y'all live. What people don't understand is limestone. Limestone is a conductor energy. There's a lot of creeks. There's a lot of lakes, and on the land itself, you can see the limestone. Where at one point in time the land used to be part of the ocean. So the limestone has this effect where it attracts paranormal activity, which it gives them energy. So if the sun is real hot, in Texas the sun is real hot, then at nighttime, well, this spirits are going to manifest because they're getting the energy from the limestone. So that's why you have a lot of paranormal activity in Texas, not just in here, but in my hometown. I believe my town where I lived, the whole town, the ground was limestone itself. So there was a lot of activity happening in that nature in my hometown. Yeah, those are the things that people lived out, that people don't really focus on, but it's a conductor, kind of like minerals. I got selenite. If the selenite raw selenite or selenite, you put it in the sun or in the moon, it stores energy, right? In which you can energize stones, other minerals by putting it on the piece of selenite. Y'all remember those little boxes that people were saying that they had a demon trapped in it? Well, those little boxes were just like kind of like tricking people because they would put a mineral that's able to hold energy in there. So when they hit it with a little thing, it will go off because the mineral was storing energy from the sun, so it will make it go off. So when they will open it up, it's like I don't know if when they zapped it with a thing that it lost its energy, but there's a lot of hoaxes like that where people were getting tricked into buying a box saying that it contained a demon, but it literally was a stone that hold energy. So they were getting gypped off for their money. But you got to remember, it's about the belief factor, right? So if there's something was already in their home following them, and they're believing that the box had a demon in it, well, then it's an opening for it to attack spiritually. So maybe activity picked up even more because there was already something there that just when they give it the power of belief, then it just gets stronger where activity picks up. I've seen some videos where they're opening the doors are opening all this, but I believe all that is some of those are you could tell that is being staged. But yes, brothers and sisters, uh, I hope you're liking this afternoon conversation. I'm just I got this my laptop and I'm debating whether I'm gonna go get me another one because it's not showing me with no color. On my phone, you can see the color of my beads and everything. Right here, it is not showing no color at all. So yes, there's a lot of minerals have energy. But yes, a lot of activity out there in the desert and in the how should I say the Muslim community. A lot of activity over there. Uh, I've seen different kind of activity in Germany. More like how should I say apparitions, some shadow figures. Uh, ran into the story of that gypsy. There was a witch. But there's things everywhere. Here in Central Texas, where I live, there's a lot of shapeshifter skinwalker activity, shadow spirits, or shadow beings. There's demonic activity. Uh, I've seen it all here. I've seen lechuzas, uh, what they call a what is that bird when the women manifested. They're turning into sirens and into what was the other word? I said it the other day. It's giving me a blank right now. Harpies. Harpies is so the transformation. The woman that slept with the washers, they changed form when they slept with them. Kind of like when Lilith went into didn't want to listen to the angel, and she went away from the Garden of Eve. She changed forms also. Which they say Lilith and her children live in the woods. That's where they live. That's where they dwell. How many things live in the woods? There's a lot of things that live in the woods, eh? But anyways, brothers and sisters, I'll probably go off later on. I'm gonna take a little break. Yeah, harpies and sirens. That's and so many other things. You've seen some of those TDN how they look. Some will look like werewolves, some look like trolls, some look like pigs in the face, some look demonic, some look like just different manifestations that take. I'm still healing. I went out there with an injured toe to do this video. I still got to have a procedure done to my toe for it to heal, which is next month. But I still went out there with the injured toe and everything to make the video. Yes, they were into cannibalism, especially the ones in this area that were cannibalistic, uh, in which they have the ability to shapeshift, and not just shapeshift, but since they were cannibalistic, you can think of also as wendigos. The ones that I speak about were, let me see, I can find them here. They lived in the area where I live at. I believe they're called Tonkawa. Yes, they're called Tonkawa. Those were the ones that lived in Central Texas. They used to call them dirty Indians, the Tonkawa. They were cannibalistic when they killed natives, other natives, Apaches, Comanches, whatever they killed. They would open them up and start cannibalizing them. Yes, cursed lands, and they still roam these lands here in Central Texas. I always see them. Always, I'm spiritually gifted, so I see them when they manifest. Sometimes they become brave, and they come at me in the manifestation of the animal that they are. But I'm able to see right through them, and I could see the shapeshifter in the animal because of the eye shine. They have a certain eye shine, like a how should I say, like a yellowish orange shine that I could tell it's the shapeshifter. It's the eye shine that they show that I could tell it's the skinwalker shapeshifter that's in that manifestation. And then if you were to see them and when they're manifesting as a human, you're able to see that the certain eye shine in which it's an eye shine that human beings cannot give out because it's only something that can be given out if they're in spirit or disembodied form. Yeah, I got some pictures of certain angels that appear sometimes. I've seen one where he was in the sky, he was made out of fire, and he was dropping some little thing. It's when I was fighting spiritually there. He was laying down something in the air that looked like fireballs, and there were a bunch of them in the sky. I've seen angels that have golden aura on them. Those were they came to defend me one time when I was fighting a bruja, a witch. She challenged me spiritually when I was in seventh grade. I was just 12 years old. She was already very old. She asked me for my name. I gave her my name. Then she asked me if my parents were so and so. Say yes. And she pulled out this amulet that was made out of bones and chicken legs, and she had something black on it. And she started talking a different language. By then, I already knew the deliverance prayer, so I started saying the deliverance prayer against her. That's when I seen the golden aura angels appear behind me. It was a bunch of them standing behind me. As she seen them, she dropped her amulet. It shattered on the ground, and she took off running. Yes, pay attention. You'll be able to see their true form, the true identity. Just like the video, that's their true form. When they're charging, they were charging at me. That manifestation was their true form. You know, the true form of how they look, beastly. Thank you, brother Sheikh Viking. This is what the works that I do, and that's one of the reasons that I try my best not to get involved in any kind of drama, any kind of how should I say feuds because of the works I do. I can't get caught up in that because all that is a spiritual opening. But for those who want to know, that's an opening, man. That's what I try to tell people. I even tell people that are coming up in a negative way, for them not to dwell in that, because that's a spiritual opening, especially when they're searching for Bigfoot and Dogman, and they're fighting like that. You go out there like that because I already know that they're not a Bigfoot and a Dogman. It's a flesh being. They're demonic. Those demons are going to attack. They're going to bond and possess that individual because of the openings they have. That's why I don't focus on negativity. I try my best just to do my own thing. That's what I do. Yeah, how you doing, radio, Big Lenny? Yeah, it's like I understand how some people, right, that they want to be caught up in all this drama, but then at the same time they want to go investigate. I know what's out there spiritually. I said, man, you go out there and I'm talking about people that are like trolls and they want to mess with people and come after people. They want to do all that, but then they want to go in the woods and investigate because they're looking for a Bigfoot or a booger or a dog man when what's out there is demonic. What's going to happen to that individual? It's common sense, right? They're going to get bonded. They're going to get spiritually attacked, in which it's going to have control of them. And that's what happens to a lot of the people. Thank you, brother. That I'm glad that you're able to view it. I'm bringing my spiritual evidence out there to show people. You hear people in the cryptic community say that they're looking for a Bigfoot, they're looking for a diamond, but there's no body. There's no body of them. Well, I'm showing you the body of what's left of a body. I'm showing you the remains of what used to be the Nephilim, but it's a disembodied demonic Nephilim. That their remains, because they were demonic, was to roam earth as demons. And what you're seeing is them in disembodied form as demonic beings charging me. If you really look at it, there's more than one. I believe I see three there, possibly more, that they're bum rushing me. I'll be honest with you. They're bum rushing me. It didn't stop me from going on forward. I lost connection for a very long time. So I was deep in the woods, in which I made another video. I haven't posted the video, but I'm going to post it. In that video, I went live on my phone. So I'll post that video next. Maybe y'all see something. But in that video, since it was from a phone, I didn't catch like hardly any interruptions. It was a good video that you could see everything for what it was there. But Yeah, they don't want to be recorded. I did pray a lot throughout the video. I think in that video, my hair stood up where something was around me. Uh, but yeah, I bring out the spiritual proof. I mean, when people say the Nephilim, they're going to resurface up. So well, the Nephilim are already here. They're in disembodied form. Remember, the bodies got destroyed during the flood, so they're amongst us in demonic form. And y'all seen it. If you look at the video, I placed the regular video, y'all. The regular video where it's way in the distance, and you can see it leaving traces where it's moving so fast. It just put it this way, it covered a lot of ground in 1 second that I had to lower the speed to about 9 seconds just to be able to capture it so y'all can see what it is. If I place the regular video, which I might, I'll put 2 seconds or 3 seconds and it's still moving fast that you're not able to see it. Your radio, they'll whisper right there to let you know they're there. They can sound like a woman. They can mimic a kid, a child's voice. Uh, I've heard pigs. You know, we know what is a pig, right? I've heard whether you hear them making the sounds of pigs. You know what the pig stands for is when Jesus Christ cast the legion into the herd of pigs. So they like making that the pig noise. Sometimes they'll make a growling sound. Sometimes they'll make snout sounds. And when they're doing all this, there's a lot of things that are happening. That you hear movement, you hear sometimes breaking of branches. But as I'm seeing spiritually, I'm not seeing anything physical doing this. You got to remember, they can mimic voices and they can mimic sounds. So when you're hearing a branch break, it's not really that it's breaking; it's just mimicking the sound of it to make you believe that they're because they don't have no body, so they can make you think that it's something moving there, or they mimic the sound of maybe a rock being thrown. They can mimic the sound like if somebody's moving in the water, where you're hearing footsteps in the water. They're master mimickers. And why do they do that? So you can believe, right? For the belief factor, so you can believe of what you're hearing is something real. Since they don't got no body, right? And they're demonic, and they have the ability to possess people. If they get you to believe that what you're hearing is real, then they attack. And sometimes you'll throw a rock because they have the enough energy to throw a rock, throw a tree, a branch or a trunk, but they just want you to believe they know what you're believing in. They already know spiritually what's in your mind, what you believe in. They know you believe in Jesus Christ. They know if you don't believe in Jesus Christ. They know uh, what manifestation to take of what you believe in. You believe in a Bigfoot, they're gonna manifest into a Bigfoot. So long they can get you to believe in him, that's a spiritual opening. You can be a dog man, spiritual opening, moth man, goat man, shoot, fairy. You could turn into a fairy. You could turn into a leprechaun. Uh, I've seen it, where they can manifest like this. Uh, you want to talk about a hat man? They can manifest into a hat man, into a shadow figure, uh, into anything that's in your mind that can manifest to that because they know what's in your spirit. They know what path that you're on. So they know exactly what to do to get you to believe because that's a spiritual opening. So they manifest itself into for example, a Bigfoot, and you're seeing it, and it makes this loud growl, and you get scared. Well, it's got two openings. You're already believing what you're seeing is a Bigfoot because you're seeing it. Then it makes a growl. Then you get scared. So it's got two openings. It's got the belief factor, and the fear factor that it can attack you spiritually. And then um, if you have openings such as uh, if you're an a-hole, you know, or a-hole, you're mean, uh, you like starting problems with people, you dwell in anger and hatred. Guess what? That's a spiritual opening. So that's three spiritual openings that it's got on you. Then, if you have unforgiveness in your heart and you haven't forgiven somebody, that's another spiritual. But that's four spiritual openings right there that it can use to bond you or possess you right off the bat. So that's why you. How do you eliminate all these openings? Through forgiveness. Forgiveness is part of love, as you know, Jesus Christ taught us that to forgive our brothers and sisters. When you forgive that, then he cuts off any generational curses all the way back to the Garden of Eve. When you cut those negative ties, what does generational curse means? It means that demons have some kind of domain over you. But when you forgive, he cuts those negative ties from the Garden of Eve, in which the Heavenly Father blesses you with the spiritual gifts of discernment, and your love foundation becomes that much stronger, more pure. You have a relationship with Jesus Christ, in which when you have love foundation and forgiveness together, it eliminates all the other three because you're believing in Jesus Christ, so you're not going to give the power of belief to something else that's demonic. You're going to eliminate the fear because love, if something that manifests, love is going to overcome it through Jesus Christ. You can say, I tie bound and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. You see somebody that has a manifestation in them, you say, God bless you, I love you. And of course, hatred is going to be completely out of the picture because it's going to be love in your heart. So that's how you eliminate the unseen. Anything that's demonic, doesn't matter what manifestation it takes, doesn't matter what kind of voice it mimics, you eliminate it by what I just spoke of through forgiveness. Makes you your foundation that's stronger. You keep your home blessed, and your home is going to be blessed. There's nothing going to be entering your home. And I'm getting my hairs are standing up right now because I'm preaching right now, brothers and sisters. Heavenly angels are here. The Holy Spirit is here. You're probably feeling it too, because that's how it works. How the Holy Spirit works, and all you're going to have in your home is peace, a love foundation, uh, Jesus Christ, the heavenly angels, the Holy Spirit roaming throughout your house, around you at all times to protect you. Yes. When the heavenly Father, for those that are viewing, you'll feel it. Your hair follicles will stand up. You feel the energy of the Holy Spirit because we're talking good right now. We're talking about a love foundation. We're talking about what to do to not give power to the unseen enemy. And I wish that some of these people, when the cryptic community could look away from the pride of, because the people see them a certain way, to look away from the pride of whether they call themselves a hunter or whatever they call themselves, and to look at what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is about protecting our vessels. You know, it's much greater than what somebody's trying to do out there. Because those hunters, they're never going to find. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not going to find a Bigfoot. They're not going to find a dog man because what's out there is what I'm speaking of, the disembodied demonic Nephilim. And if they find that, well, and they don't take the proper measures of preparing themselves spiritually before, during, and after, then most likely they will be bonded by them. And they'll be feeding off their energy till they get rid of the vessel, till they're going to make them ill, they're going to make them sick, And if they don't have the spiritual knowledge to tie, bind, and rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name, in true faith and true belief in Jesus Christ, then they're going to continue to be bonded. That's why I make these videos, brothers and sisters, because I care about everybody. I care about. It doesn't matter to me. Everybody's my brothers and sisters. That's why I make these videos, and I bring the spiritual perspective through my experiences of what I've gone through my life, fighting spiritually all throughout my life. That's what I know that is out there, that exists. Even in the military, I knew what was out there. Spiritually, when you're spiritually blessed, the Heavenly Father will guide you. You're welcome, TJ. Like I said, I can only help those that I can get through spiritually, and for those that are bonded and it has full control of them, then it will be that much harder to reach to be able to help them out spiritually. I can only help those that I can help. That's why I created my spiritual group. I share my videos through other groups, and this video here was just supposed to be a quick live to test out my my laptop, in which it has no color right now. But that's okay. So long uh, everybody's hearing the spiritual words that I'm setting to you, that are given to me to give to you, is all that matters. It's not about the limelights. It's not about that. It's about getting the message sent so people can understand it. And I'm more than sure that some of you can resonate to what I'm speaking about right now. We have to look at watch our Q's and P's to make sure we don't go astray and get spiritually fooled by the DDN. That's what they do. They've been deceiving people for centuries. But in saying that, I'll let you go for right now, brothers and sisters. I might go live later on, like I always do at nighttime. Thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, it was supposed to be just a regular uh, test on my laptop, because last night I was having technical difficulties, and it went from that to this, in which, you know what, let it flow. If it's coming from the Heavenly Father, I just let it flow. I just speak about it. Whatever is being shown to me, I'll share it with you. Uh, Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate y'all. I love you, my brothers and sisters. If you're ever going through something that's not understandable to you, you're more than welcome to contact me through Messenger under Abe Cias. I'm on Facebook. Uh, this is what I do. I help my brothers and sisters, and no, I just wish that everybody can awaken, because we have a spiritual battle that's in the midst, that's here right now upon us, and we have to be spiritual ready, not just ourselves, but we have to prepare our next of kin, also our children. Prepare them. If they don't know about Jesus Christ, then how are they going to be able to fight the unseen spiritual war? If we all know that the only way to be able to fight the unseen spiritual war is through Jesus Christ. That's why our government, as you can see, is kind of corrupt. It's kind of crooked, where they're trying to take Jesus Christ out of the equation, out of the picture. They can try, but so long we can continue to praise the Heavenly Father and to spread the word, and like I'm doing right now, we're we're able to fight the spiritual war. You're welcome there, Shea by King. But in saying that, uh, till I'll see y'all later on, or whenever I make another video. I'm going to try to make what I'll do right now is I will make a short reel of what I call the land between the sky. You're going to see it and you're going to freak out when make this video. You know how people talk about the land between the earth? Well, I got the land between the sky. I got a video. I got a how should I say, picture. I took a screenshot off the video where there's land in between the sky. Saying that, thank you for tuning in. God bless you and your families. Peace out, everybody.